It's Wednesday, December 3rd. Today, parking violation plan. How Winnipeg's Parking Authority hopes the public will help curb illegal parking. Boosting support and the amount being earmarked by the provincial government for those affected by the record-setting wildfire season. Winter parking route ban now in effect. What you need to remember so you don't face a fine. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. We have a lot in the next 3 hours for you. Ainsley McPhail is live at MHC Gallery, showing us their brand new exhibit there. We're going to get a tour. We're going to talk a little bit more about the artist, what inspired them, and show you around as well. So if you want to check it out for yourself. But again, the weather is chilly this morning.
Yeah, I think if we were assigning an artist to it, speaking of the gallery theme, maybe like Currier and Ives, you know, those old school, because it's looking wintry out there.
It is.
And it's certainly going to be feeling quite chilly, as evidenced by our current conditions. It's minus 21 out there. That wind chill, though, making it feel more akin to minus 30. It is decently clear, though. The winds are out of the northwest. They shall be ramping up in due time. The barometric pressure is on the rise. The humidity sitting at 75% this hour. So yes, we will be dealing with a good amount of sunshine today. Won't be doing a ton for the heat, however. You can see not a lot to report on the radar, as we are in store for a sunny, cool and clear Wednesday ahead throughout much of Manitoba. However, we are keeping an eye on the possibility for more flurries. Yesterday, we did have that very weak clipper come through. Very light amount of snow fell, but we're likely to get a little bit more. So as the day progresses, we see things clear out nicely, but you see a good amount of cloud coverage, coming in from the west. And as the day progresses, we start to see this system, another low pressure system, coming in overnight, likely to southwestern Manitoba, and then arriving for us in Winnipeg on Thursday. About 2 to 4 centimeters of light snow should fall, while the north stays relatively clear. That system moves out of our skies by likely Thursday night, setting the stage for potentially more sunshine on the way. Our temperature is quite sluggish. Considering minus 7 is a typical high, today we are going to be almost double that in terms of our cold. Minus 16 degrees. Again, that wind chill will feel most nasty in the morning hours, more like minus 30, as we already showed you. It'll ease into the afternoon as temperatures rise. Overnight, we start to see those clouds roll in, with temperatures dipping to minus 19. But again, misleading. That wind chill will feel more like minus 35 at time. Tomorrow, much calmer and more mild as we head on into that next round of light snow. Minus 18 degrees, and even into Friday, we're seeing slight cooler temperatures, but that sunshine reemerges in time for the weekend with a dip off in terms of our temperatures, a high of minus 17.
Thanks, Catherine. Drivers parking illegally might soon have to smile for the camera. The Winnipeg Parking Authority is exploring a plan where the public can take photos of parking violations and submit them. As CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, a ticket would then be mailed to the vehicle owner based only on the photo.
Del Sexsmith sees his share of people parked where they aren't supposed to, like in front of a fire hydrant or staying past their allotted time.
Well, people go into a loading zone because they rationalize they're only going to be a few minutes, and they're in 10, 15 minutes, and before you know it, you realize they're actually in violation of the no parking zone.
Sexsmith says he'd have no problem reporting these types of infractions. In fact, he'd even snap a photo with his phone for proof.
I'm very camera friendly with my phone, and if I knew there's a place he was going that would be taken seriously, I would do it.
In one day, he might be able to do just that, and a ticket would be issued. As part of their annual business plan, the Winnipeg Parking Authority wants to study a photo-based public reporting system. And based on the photos alone, tickets would be mailed to the vehicle owners. Right now, the city says parking officers are required to investigate violations, and this could free them up. We are in the very early stages of exploring if we could enforce less serious parking violations using public submitted photographs alone. The city also says this measure could help with enforcement when officers are not available or the reported vehicle is moved by the time they get there.
So I guess it's a sense of community accountability, right?
We posed the question to people, would they turn in fellow drivers parked illegally by taking and submitting pictures?
Would I? That's a good question. Maybe if I was walking, I don't think I would stop driving to do something like that.
Olivia Olford admits she sometimes parks where she shouldn't because there is not enough on-street parking, so she's against it.
I don't think it's fair to have people penalizing other people. just trying to get through their day and park where they have to park.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Parking Authority's business plan is scheduled to be discussed at the Public Works Committee meeting next week. Premier Wamkanu wants changes in how the public is notified when a convicted sex offender is released or breaches conditions.
I think it's time that we revisit the criteria, the policies that they use, and so I'm writing this letter to them to appeal to their expertise, to appeal to their understanding of the justice system so that we can tighten things up.
The Premier says if someone on the sex registry breaches conditions by being at a school, the public should be notified no matter what. It comes after a convicted sex offender allegedly made his way into an elementary school washroom last week in St. Vital and grabbed a student. And Canoe says the accused in this case allegedly violated conditions months earlier at a nearby high school.
From what I understand of the current policies is that when somebody on the registry breaches bail, community notification is only automatic if the bail violation is related to an offense that is sexual in nature. I think when we think about a situation where somebody's on that sex offender registry, they're at a school when they're not supposed to be, they get charged for it, they breach their bail conditions. To me, that seems like it's close enough. The common sense test would dictate that in a situation like that, the public should be notified.
Canoe's ask to the advisory committee comes a day after the province told schools to review their emergency policies on issues such as whether doors are locked and whether entrances are monitored. Schools were told to report back to the province. The province is boosting financial support to those impacted by the record-setting wildfire season. The provincial government is contributing a total of $6.5 million to individuals and small businesses in wildfire-affected regions. It's matching funds raised through the Canadian Red Cross's 2025 Manitoba Wildfires Appeal Fund. The funding includes about $2 million earmarked for small business support. The province also says registered evacuees who previously received emergency financial assistance will be eligible for $120 per adult and $65 per child. A frightening incident in Toronto has left a woman fighting for her life after being set on fire. Police were called to an assault, but when they arrived, they saw the woman in her 50s on fire inside a burning structure. A police officer also suffered minor injuries while dragging her to safety. Investigators are now on the hunt for a suspect. Edmonton is the first police service in Canada testing out body cameras equipped with facial recognition to help solve crimes. The AI-powered technology could help police identify people deemed dangerous and those with arrest warrants in real time, but there are also warnings about its use.
The impacts to the public are significant if we have mismatches, false positive, false negatives. This is policing. This is serious. This has a real impact on people's lives.
The faces of about 7,000 people have been loaded in a database for testing the software in the field. The program will launch tomorrow and will run through December. The city's police commission will then determine if more testing is needed. There is word that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is turning to Canada to buy 20 armored vehicles. They're made by Rochelle, a company headquartered in Brampton, Ontario. The deal worth about $10 million Canadian. Although President Trump has pursued an aggressive America First policy, ICE says only the Canadian company can meet its specifications within 30 days. The department is currently facing some allegations of human rights abuses as ICE agents swarm U.S. cities to expel immigrants living in the country illegally under a directive by the Trump administration. A hockey coach from Montreal is being called a hero after rushing into action to save an elderly couple from a fire in their home.
I figured there were people inside, so I was banging on the door as hard as we could, and finally a woman answered the door, excuse me.
Eric Fitzgerald helped the woman, who is blind, to his truck and then went back into the smoky house to save her husband. Their home had a smoke detector, but it wasn't working. The couple's daughter overwhelmed by his willingness to put himself in harm's way. A real hero. Here's a look now at what's going on outside at Confusion Corner. Things are slowly picking up here, but overall moving quite well, as you can see. No issues to tell you about. If you do see problems out on the streets, though, please let us know. Text them to us at 10400. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who is live this morning at MHC Gallery. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. There's 2 exhibitions here at the Canadian Mennonite University, and a lot of people ask them, are they religious exhibitions every single time? And the answer to that is actually no, but this time in particular, in a rarity, they have one featuring 2 nativity scenes. It's called Present from God. A Japanese artist, Gen Suboi, put this on, and it's all utilizing Japanese paper. So we're going to be learning about the history of the craft, having a chat with his niece, who's actually an English professor here, and his daughter, who's an artist too, and really looking at the origin of the art itself and learning about the artist too. We're also going to be chatting with Connie Bart Hamill, who's from north of Brandon, and the title is Would Heaven and Nature Sing Too? So we'll be heading upstairs. There's some woodworks, there's some mixed media, and she really focuses on female figures. So lots to unpack here. Once again, not the art expert, but I love to hear it from them.
Well, just from what we see behind you, they're beautiful pieces. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now, and it's a cold start to the day. The wind chills are pretty intense today.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to be bundling up if you're headed outside because wind chill values are quite extreme, as you can see there. While our temperature gauge may read -29, it feels closer to -29. Couple clouds out here have started to roll in, although they will be sparse today. The winds are out of the northwest at 14 kilometers per hour. That's kind of our only saving grace here, else it'd be much chillier if those were any stronger. Barometric pressure is rising, humidity sits at 77%. So much of the province is in for a cool and clear day. To the north, lots of sunshine as mentioned. Temperatures there will peak in the low -20s, but we know that wind chill is going to be fierce this morning. In Churchill and Thompson right now, it feels upwards of -40 degrees. That will ease into the afternoon, but still nowhere near pleasant. To the south, we're dealing with temperatures into the mid-teens. For us in Winnipeg, mid-minus teens, it's -16. That wind chill again, very strong this morning, feeling closer to -30. It'll ease into the afternoon. We've got lots of sunshine. We do get a warm up tomorrow, though, coming with some light snow. We're going to take a break here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Stay with us. So much more still to come on this Wednesday.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Good morning. The city's annual winter parking route ban is now in effect. It means no parking on designated streets between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. You should be on the lookout for both winter route and snow route signs, even if the road is clear and it isn't snowing. The fine for parking in violation of the ban is $100. Cars can also be towed. The city encourages people to use its interactive real-time snow map this winter to keep up with its plowing operations. Information on whether any address or location is affected by the ban can also be found on the Know Your Zone app by using the online address lookup tool or by calling 311. A coalition of social groups, researchers, and others is hoping to shift the conversation around crime and crime prevention.
We have politicians who will tell us they have the solution, the easy solution, lock them up longer, treat them harsher. The fact is that's what we've always done.
That's Kate Keller with the Social Planning Council of Winnipeg, one of dozens of groups which make up the Police Accountability Coalition. On Tuesday, it released its response to the ongoing public conversation around bail reform and tough on crime measures. Rather than doubling down on tactics such as mandatory minimum sentences and tougher bail conditions, it says governments need to spend more money to address socio-economic factors they say drive some people to crime in the first place, such as poverty, homelessness, racial injustice, and lack of opportunity.
Of course, we need to stop it way at the beginning with social development. We need to support our children so they're not growing up in poverty. Those, all of the big picture stuff. And I do need to make the point that the politicians will mention root causes, but the problem is we never get to those. They say we have to spend our money on these things first, and then we'll get to the root causes.
The group is also calling for an overhaul of the correction system to focus on addressing recidivism and reintegration into society rather than punishment. The report makes more than a dozen recommendations addressed to each level of government. The Prime Minister addressed the Assembly of First Nations Chiefs Tuesday. It was the group's first chance to question Mark Carney since making it clear they oppose the new agreement with Alberta that opens the door to a new pipeline. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
Do you respect the direction of the rights and title holders.
BC's regional chief among those with a rare chance to question the Prime Minister, as coastal chiefs are staunchly opposed to the new MOU between Ottawa and Alberta that sets the stage for a new pipeline.
I look forward to that meeting at the earliest opportunity.
Mark Carney says he will meet with the coastal BC chiefs and committed to a First Ministers meeting with First Nations early in the new year.
Under the leadership of the Minister of Indigenous Services, this government intends to introduce water legislation in the spring of 2026.
Key on the day one agenda, an emergency resolution to maintain the oil tanker ban and a call to scrap the new MOU.
This resolution has been accepted.
It passed unanimously.
First Nations in Canada are feeling overwhelmed, that they're feeling as though the duty to consult is being undermined.
Merle Alexander is representing 2 BC coastal First Nations.
There also is a real pushback against this regression on environmental and climate change policies.
Canada can create all the MOUs, project offices, advisory groups that they want, but chiefs are united. When it comes to approving large national projects on First Nations lands, there will not be getting around rights holders.
It's bad enough First Nations don't trust the government, and this makes it even worse.
The message about a need for more consultation coming not just from BC, but chiefs across the country.
We've had enough of being excluded. And there's going to be trillions of dollars going to be extracted over the next 10 to 100 years. And for First Nations to get chump change, it's not going to happen.
The Special Chiefs Assembly continues here until Thursday. Also on the agenda, a plenary session about the Major Projects Office and Indigenous Advisory Committee. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
As the Trump administration continues to show that it's on a mission to take down drug runners, it's also just released the former president of Honduras, convicted of drug crimes from a U.S. jail. Juan Orlando Hernandez was sentenced to 45 years behind bars last year for helping smuggle 400 tons of cocaine into the United States. Trump called his prosecution political and pardoned him. Put on your toques and gloves and be sure to bring a tin or two for the bin. The CPKC holiday train rolls into Winnipeg this evening. The festive train, featuring live music performances and thousands of colored lights, is scheduled for its Winnipeg stop at 9:15 p.m. Catch it at the grade crossing at Panet Road and Molson Street. Singers Jade Eagleson and Tegan Gaze will entertain the crowd at the Winnipeg stop from the brightly decorated train stage. CPKC donates to the local food bank at each stop and encourages all attendees to make a monetary or heart-healthy food donation. On December 5th, the holiday train heads west for stops in Portage-la-Prairie, Neepawa, and Minnedosa. Find more details on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush hours, the eastbound curb lane on Ellis will be closed between Home and McGee. The southbound curb lane of Henderson will be closed between Fraser's to Mossdale. And the northbound middle lane on Memorial Boulevard will be closed from St. Mary to Portage. If you have any other traffic tips or updates to share, please text them to us at 10400.
The Bathfitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
A frosty start to your Wednesday, quite chilly with that wind chill this hour. It's at minus 29 with that in effect, although the temperature gauge reads closer to minus 21. Couple clouds lingering, winds out of the northwest this hour at 14 kilometers per hour. Pressure's rising, humidity sits at 77%. So yes, if you are heading outside today or going to the holiday train tonight, be sure to bundle up because we are in really the grips of a quite icy spell, if you will. We do have a day of below seasonal temperatures and made worse by those wind chills. I'm just going to move out of the way so folks in northwestern Ontario can get a gander at their conditions. Minus 19 in Kenora, minus 18 in Morden and Winkler, much chillier in Brandon at minus 23 degrees. Gimli kicking the day off at minus 19. To the north, temperatures are very cold, particularly in Churchill. While it says minus 22 degrees, that wind chill is feeling in excess of minus 40. Same goes for Thompson with a staggering minus 28 28 degrees there. So be sure to, if you're going outside, bundle up, take precautions, because this is frostbite territory in terms of those temperatures. I'm going to sound like your nagging mother today, just be forewarned. Not a lot to show you about on the radar as we're dealing with clear skies to kick us off, and that'll be the case through most of the day. So certainly as the kids head out, the sunshine, you look outside, it's misleading because it is quite frosty. As they get to class, it'll be about -18, -16 as they take lunch, and nothing much changing on the way home. In fact, that's our high for today. -7 is more of a typical high for this time of year. We're well off the mark. Overnight, clouds start to intensify. Temperatures dip to -19. That wind chill, though, will feel closer to -25, maybe even -30. Tomorrow, a nice warm up on the way, -8 degrees. But with that, some light snow very likely in Winnipeg and much of southern Manitoba. Your Skywatch picture of the day, Brad snapped this lovely sunset in Douglas, or just near. Thanks for sending that in, Brad, and keep your weather pictures coming to our inbox, winnipegweather@ctv.ca. We're taking a break, but so much Your Morning Winnipeg still to come.
When you give a child a winter coat, you're giving a child the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside. When you give a child a winter coat, you're giving them the freedom to create warm winter memories. Because no child should be freezing cold. Kids should be able to go outside and have fun. Donate to Coats for Kids. Drop off new or gently used winter wear at these participating businesses. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
Deck the halls for your chance to win and be featured on Your Morning Winnipeg. Here at Your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decorated for the holidays. All those nutcrackers, lights, and trees could help you win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and have the chance to show off your holiday house live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures. Good luck. Charities rely on donations, especially at this time of year, but as organizations lean into Giving Tuesday, fewer people seem to be donating. CTV's Sarah Plowman explains why.
3 times a day, every day. This kitchen feeds Fredericton's hungry. A cause largely fed by donations.
We definitely need those donations to flow through this month so that we can make ends meet by the end of the year.
So far, fundraising seems strong, but costs are also rising.
We still have a large gap to go, and that gap is a little bigger than last year because, you know, as numbers go up, expenses go up.
Unlike last December, charities are not contending with a mail strike, but rotating strikes did delay NB Lung's mail-out campaign.
It's a bit frustrating, but really more it's the uncertainty of not knowing.
The organization says donations have slowly gone down the past few years, likely due to the cost of living, but programs push on.
Just think of charities during this time of year. We are filling in a lot of the gaps where government programs are not covering folks.
Canada Help says while Canadians are generous, 1 in 5 has not donated to a charity in the past 5 years. Last Giving Tuesday, the online fundraising hub processed more than $16 million, a record.
So we're continuing to see the momentum build, yet what we also are aware of is that the number of donors does continue to go down. So what's happening is that those who do give are giving more.
Canada Helps is reminding people that even a small donation can go a long way. And so can giving your time, something like shoveling someone's driveway, a seemingly small act of kindness that could be a huge help to someone. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
That mild fall we experienced seems like a far cry because this is deep winter, folks. -21 degrees with that wind chill feels more like -29. 1 or 2 clouds out there. Winds are lightish out of the northwest at 14 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising. Humidity sits at 77%. Lightish is an official weather term, just FYI. Not a lot to show you on our radar because it's so clear to kick us off. 1 or 2 errant clouds here or there in southern Manitoba, but for the most part we're going to be nice and clear, but unfortunately it's not bringing bringing a ton of heat with all that lovely sunshine. We're getting up to a high of minus 16 degrees today. Of course, in the morning hours, the wind chill will make it feel in excess of minus 30. Meanwhile, those winds will be ramping up out of the northwest at 30 kilometers per hour under those sunny skies. Into tonight, temperatures dip down to minus 19. That wind chill also back in effect. It'll feel around the minus 25 to minus 30 degree mark. Winds lose a little bit of their heft out of the northwest at 20 kilometers per hour. And our skies, we start to see clouds roll in, and that's setting the stage for our next round of snow. A light pressure system, or a low pressure system, excuse me, bringing light snow, a good chance of that, about 2 to 4 centimeters worth by Environment Canada and Climate Change Canada's estimation. Decent highs at minus 8 degrees. It's almost seasonal. Minus 7 is what's typical, and that's been a far cry for the last couple of days. And it will be for the next couple to come as well. Friday, not terrible, minus 9 degrees under a mix of sun and cloud. Saturday, under the sunshine, but we cool off quite substantially, minus 17. And then Sunday, a good chance of some flurry activity with a high of minus 15. Monday, much the same, and we're going to likely be under that mixed precipitation and cloudy skies for the start of next work week.
New data from Statistics Canada shows Manitoba is the murder capital of Canada for the 3rd consecutive year. The agency's homicide trends report shows our province's homicide rate last year was just over 6 people per 100,000. That's more than triple the national homicide rate. And compared to 2023, it's jumped 22%. The report also found more youth are being charged with homicide, and Indigenous people continue to be overrepresented among homicide victims. A 53-year-old man is charged for a fatal shooting that happened this past summer in the city's Spence neighborhood. 25-year-old Melvin Catchaway Jr. died in hospital after being shot August 29th in the 600 block of Langside Street. Winnipeg police say he was shot during an altercation with the accused. Police say the two men knew each other prior to the incident. Last week, police arrested Troy Donovan Bernier and charged him with second-degree murder. He was detained in custody. None of the charges have been proven in court. More than 100 police agencies across Canada who took part in a 5-month operation have revealed the outcome of their joint effort that resulted in a record seizure of fentanyl. The investigations reveal that a significant amount of drugs are being trafficked within Canada, not across the border, as Donald Trump has claimed. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
For months, police in big cities and small towns have been brought together by the RCMP to target organized crime in multiple operations.
Police officers working together from across Canada to target a sophisticated criminal organization preying on Canadians.
The Mounties say about 200 criminal groups are involved in fentanyl trafficking in Canada. Some are linked to international cartels. Between May and October, a joint strike force of more than 100 law enforcement agencies focused on getting illicit drugs off the streets.
These investigations took place on opposite ends of our province.
Police seized 386 kilograms of fentanyl, more than 1,700 kilograms of methamphetamine, and nearly 6,000 kilograms of cocaine, along with more than $13 million in cash.
It's a real shining example of the feds, the provinces, and municipal agencies all working together.
A chunk of fentanyl there. This is the second time that a national effort was coordinated by the RCMP to target deadly opioids after Donald Trump accused Canada of not doing enough to stem the flow of fentanyl across the border earlier this year.
Canada's a very bad abuser.
The RCMP say more than 8,000 arrests and charges were laid. Despite the record quantities of seizures, investigators say fentanyl is being trafficked for domestic use, not being exported.
Fentanyl is not going certainly from Canada to the U.S.
The RCMP say China remains the biggest source of precursor chemicals that go into the making of illegal fentanyl. In the near future, the Mounties say they will focus on ports, rail yards, and airports, along with drugs delivered through the mail.
New Zealand officials say 19-year-old Canadian was arrested by attempting to smuggle drugs in the country. Officials say the suspect had 15 kilograms of methamphetamine in his luggage and was taken into custody at the Auckland airport after flying in from Vancouver. The drugs are estimated to be worth about $3.65 million. How much do you tip and when? A consumer group in Quebec is now calling for tighter controls on tipping.
When you go to pay, it's already set up for certain percentages, and it kind of makes it a bit weird if you don't tap on it.
They have 15%.
good. You ever seen that one? 18 better and, really good. They're giving a value to the tip.
In May, Quebec passed a law forcing businesses to calculate tips based on pre-tax totals. The law also prohibits merchants from using emojis or descriptions on their payment machines. But a lawyer with a consumer advocacy group says there should also be restrictions on which companies can ask for tips. A recent survey found Quebecers say they are fed up with how often they are being solicited for tips. The group also wants to see the 15% tip option mandatory because many businesses now set the lowest option on the payment machine at 18%. The Hudson's Bay Royal Charter is now one step closer to remaining in the public domain. Two of Canada's richest families, the Thompson and Weston families, appear to have been successful in their bid on the document that formed the Hudson's Bay Company more than 350 years ago. They were set to jointly offer a starting bid of $18 million in an auction scheduled for today. Anyone interested in participating had to show interest by last Friday, but no one did. So sources tell the Canadian press with no other bids, they'll likely be named the successful buyer. The families say they plan to donate the charter to the Archives of Manitoba, the Manitoba Museum, the Canadian Museum of History, and the Royal Ontario Museum to share equally. Here's a look now at what's going on at Portage at Polo Park. Looks like things are moving well to start off this Wednesday morning. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. Here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.31. The provincial average is lower at $1.23. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.21. And the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.09. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up after the break, Ainsley Mayfield is live at the Canadian Mennonite University MHC Gallery. We're going to learn more about these two exhibits that are on display right now. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Get the warm coat out, folks, because it is a very chilly start to our day, and it is those are the conditions across the province. Don't know, I'm stumbling with my words. It's minus 21 degrees in Winnipeg. With that wind chill, feels more like minus 29. Maybe that's why I'm stumbling. It is chilly out here. A couple clouds lingering. Winds are light-ish out of the northwest. Pressure rising. Humidity at 77%. So much of the province is in store for a very sunny day ahead, but it's not bringing a ton of warmth. In fact, kind of the opposite. To the north, you're going to be dealing with temperatures peaking in the low minus 20s. However, wind chills will be particularly fierce in the morning. Areas in and around Churchill already feel it like minus 40 this morning, so be sure to bundle up. Same for us here in southern Manitoba. We too will have below seasonal highs. For us here in Winnipeg, it's minus 16. Maybe 1 or 2 degrees warmer in areas further to the west of us, but for the most part chilly, sunny, and that wind chill also kind of fierce, feeling more like minus 30 degrees in the morning. Overnight skies will cloud over, setting the stage for a warm-up tomorrow, excuse me. Now we're going to head over to CTV's Ainsley McPhail, who's having a bit of an artful moment. Ainsley.
We're at the Canadian Mennonite University, Catherine, where there's some absolutely stunning pieces, 2 exhibitions that we're going to feature today. Sarah Hodges-Klisnik joins me to tell us all about it. And the artist is not here. He's in Japan right now and wouldn't be able to speak to me as well because I do not speak Japanese, but we're going to showcase his work and it speaks for itself. So let's talk about this first exhibition, Sarah.
Yeah, so the exhibition is called Present from God. It's by Gensaboy, who, as you mentioned, is from Japan. He was a visiting artist, and he works with kirii, which is Japanese paper cutting. So really intricate, visually detailed, decorative designs, and he works with this as his expression of his faith. So these are all biblical scenes that he's chosen to portray in this exhibition.
Now, this isn't common for the space.
Correct, yeah. So it's probably the question I get asked most often as the director of the gallery. I get, do you only display Christian art and do you only display Mennonite art? All the time. And the answer is always no. We are interested. We think that artistic expression is a way to learn about each other and grow together. So we really are interested in everything, all spiritual practices, all cultures, all different skill levels. And so this is a rare occasion to see a piece of art, a series of art focused specifically on Christian themes. And hey, Advent just started, so if you do believe, it's a great way to find that contemplative kind of spirit of the season.
Oh, well, I was going to say, that being said, there's a few nativity scenes here that if you come to the gallery, you can check out for yourself. If you head to the second floor, there's a second exhibition.
Correct, yeah. So Connie Bart-Hemmel is actually a local artist. Very different way of working than, again, she works in wood and mixed media, very colorful and very warm pieces because she's also interested in gender studies and women's studies. So a lot of female icons and symbolism, like the piece you're looking at right now. And it's called Would Heaven and Nature Sing Too, and also features those kind of spiritual themes.
That's awesome. Just in time for Christmas. What an exciting time it is. Stick with us on Your Morning Winnipeg.
On the early markets, the Dow Jones is up. The NASDAQ and S&P index making small increases. The loonie is rising, sitting around 71.70 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng is down 334, and the Nikkei is up 561 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. Robbed at gunpoint and threatened with violence. That's what some staff at Manitoba cannabis stores are dealing with on a regular basis. It's so bad, some have even quit the industry altogether. As CTV's Harrison Shin shows you, a new survey from the union representing workers says something must be done.
In the beginning of this year, the store I work at was robbed at gunpoint. Yeah.
Violence is hitting cannabis retail store workers hard.
This one customer, he would come up, make very sexual comments about me and my coworkers while I was working there. He would even caress my hand while I was trying to pass him stuff.
The United Food and Commercial Workers Local 832 represents some workers in the province. They say these women are not alone. Their new survey says just 8% of cannabis store staff feel safe at work at all times, with 26% saying most of the time and 47% saying sometimes. Those numbers represent about 100 workers who responded online. Secretary-Treasurer of the union, Marie Buchan, says workers are at risk.
These surveys from workers across the province in the cannabis industry just amplified the issues about assaults, robberies, theft, serious injuries in the workplace on a day-to-day basis from any worker in the industry.
The union is asking for new safety measures to be legislated by the province.
The ban working alone was one of the things, also controlled entries, removing window coverings, mandate closing times, and ensuring security systems, including silent alarms and panic buttons.
McClement said she wants to do a good job, but
I have to admit there is a little cloud of anxiety that lingers every time I go in because I don't know what I'm walking into.
While Crook has quit the industry altogether.
No, I don't intend to go back either.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The union says it presented its findings to the province on November 17th. CTV News reached out to the Justice Minister, Matt Wiebe. In a statement, Minister Wiebe says, in part, their office is reviewing the proposal. Manitoba's official opposition is calling on the government to better support children and youth living with type 1 diabetes.
Right now, if a child is too young to adjust their insulin pump at lunchtime, school staff cannot assist them, forcing parents to leave work to do it.
The PCs are imploring the province introduce a mandatory standard of care similar to what's been done in provinces like British Columbia and Nova Scotia. More specifically, it would entail training some school staff in insulin administration. It's something the PCs say Diabetes Canada and parents have been long calling for.
I think having to quit my job to give my son health care in school it's not right. There's other children with disabilities in school who they get their treatment, but my son with type 1 diabetes doesn't.
Health Minister Uzuma Azaguera says the province is working on a Manitoba approach to meet the needs of as many children as possible. That means following Diabetes Canada guidelines and consulting both health and educational professionals in the province. A timeline on when details of that plan will be announced wasn't provided. Parents are being warned about the risks of giving children lottery tickets, even as stocking stuffers. The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation says research shows that early exposure to gambling can increase the risk of future problems. The OLG adds that while it's easy to think of lottery tickets as a quick, fun holiday gift for kids, they should only be given to people who are at least 18 years old. Some road closures to remind you about this morning following the rush hours. The eastbound curb lane on Ellis will be closed between Home and McGee. The southbound curb lane of Henderson will be closed between Fraser's to Mossdale. The northbound middle lane on Memorial Boulevard will be closed from St. Mary to Portage. If you have any other traffic tips, please share them with us.
Casting our eye to the sky, it's clear and cold to kick us off on this Wednesday. -21 here in Winnipeg. That wind chill making it feel closer to -29. Winds out of the northwest at 14 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising. Humidity at 77%. So good news, bad news. Good news, if you love sunshine, we're getting plenty of it today, as evidenced by our radar. Not a lot to write home about here. A couple clouds may be lingering. The bad news, our temperatures are quite frigid, starting off that way and will be remaining so. So while we see these temperatures already looking quite cold at -21 in Thompson, -23 in Gillam, -22 in Churchill. Throughout the day, it's going to feel in excess of -35 to even -40 in specifically areas like Thompson and Churchill. This is area where you can get, or territory rather, where you can get frostbite, so you really must bundle up if you're heading outside. A hair warmer to the northwest, but certainly still below seasonal. -18 degrees in Opaskwayak Cree Nation in the Paw, -19 in Flin Flon, Lynn Lake at -21. Southwestern Manitoba, you too will see highs in the mid-teens with some northwesterly winds, not terribly strong, not enough at least to conjure higher wind chill values like they're seeing in the north, but still fierce. It's feeling like -30 to kick off the day. They'll ease into the afternoon. Much like us here in south central Manitoba, we'll have highs in the mid-teens. Winds out of the northwest at about 20 kilometers per hour. 1 or 2 clouds, but for the most part, it'll be just chilly and clear. Northwestern Ontario, temperatures on par with what we're seeing here. A little bit cloudier the further east you go. Overnight tonight, we start to see, come on, graphics, let's go. There we go. Overnight tonight, we start to see those clouds roll in. Temperatures dipping down in Winnipeg to -19. That wind chill ramps back up again. At times, it'll feel closer to -30. Tomorrow, we have a bit of a warm up, but the trade-off is we get some light snow. -8 degrees with about 2 to 4 centimeters possible. That's by Environment and Climate Change Canada's estimation. And then we get the sun back on Friday with some decent temperatures at -9. But the weekend is looking quite chilly. Saturday, a high of -17.
Thank you, Catherine. A number of Hollywood stars were in Toronto Tuesday, not to promote a movie, but instead to promote brain health. One of the keynote speakers is the spouse of a man who used to be one of the biggest action stars and now requires constant care. CTV's Pauline Chan reports.
Bruce Willis's family announced the actor had frontotemporal dementia in 2023, just months after he developed aphasia and retired from acting. And at the Women's Brain Health Summit, his wife Emma Hemming Willis spoke of their experiences.
I think he's doing really well with a very unkind disease. You know, he's surrounded by love and support, and he's doing well today. I was carrying a lot of grief and anger and resentment and all the things that caregivers experience but don't always talk about. But I realized for myself that it was important I didn't want that just to be the only note. So I made the choice that I wasn't going to allow Bruce's disease to take our whole family.
And as Hemming Willis has become an experienced caregiver, she has also become an advocate for supporting caregivers in general.
For many caregivers, including myself, just how isolating it can be. So I think it's really important that we keep talking about caregiving, being able to, raise awareness, shine a light, a big spotlight on caregivers so that they get the support that's needed for them.
Organizer Lynn Poslin says this is the 7th annual Women's Brain Health Day.
Almost 70% of Alzheimer's sufferers are women, but research has historically focused on men. So we wanted to make sure that we raised awareness and funds to level that research playing field, but also educate the public about what they can do to protect their cognitive vitality.
Going forward, we're hopefully going to see this as part of physical exams as we age, that maybe you'll get your amyloid and tau levels checked to see if you are at risk for developing Alzheimer's.
Lisa Genova says this is a key point in the battle against dementia as the first disease-modifying drugs become available. But diagnosis is the first step. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
We're building another toy mountain, and you can help. CTV News Winnipeg and our friends from 103.1 Virgin Radio and Bounce 99.9 will be collecting new unwrapped toys on Friday and Saturday at CF Polo Park. You can find us on the second floor overlooking Center Court. Toy Mountain donations can also be made at all Scotiabank, IKEA, Toys R Us locations and at select Winnipeg Fire Paramedic stations. You can find a full list of locations on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. New research is out about smartphones and kids, specifically the potential health risks of giving a young child a phone. ABC's Hannah Bada explains.
It's a question so many parents face. How old should your child be before getting them a smartphone? Now, a study in the journal Pediatrics finds children who had a smartphone before the age of 12 were at a higher risk for depression, obesity, and insufficient sleep than those who did not yet have one. Researchers also finding the younger a child is when they get a smartphone, the higher their risk for developing those issues.
Most kids by age 12 already had a smartphone. The median age was 11. The kids with having a smartphone overall was associated with worse outcomes.
While researchers stop short of recommending a specific age for phone readiness, doctors say the decision comes down to weighing the benefits of a phone against a child's maturity and level of responsibility.
We need to be thinking about their health, online exposure, potential addictive behavior, and how owning a smartphone might affect their long-term health.
A smartphone does have its benefits, such as increased connectivity and access to information. But doctors say parents should impose rules to limit potential harm, like no phones at dinner or at bedtime, and make sure kids still take part in activities not requiring phones.
We want less devices, less screens, more childhood.
While the study only shows an association between phone use and those health conditions, not a direct cause, researchers recommend parents talk to their child's doctor to determine when they're ready for a phone. Hannah Bata, ABC News, New York.
We're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this. It's Wednesday, December 3rd. Today, parking photo plan, how Winnipeggers may soon snap and submit images of parking violations under a new proposal headed to council. Plus, wildfire relief boost. The province adds millions in support for evacuees and small businesses recovering from record fires. And Muskox Bell Bash, how two furry heavyweights are loving a new enrichment bell, head-butting it loud and proud. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. It is respiratory virus season. Many of us will be gathering with family and friends over this holiday season as we have, holiday parties, or we just gather with our families during the holidays. So we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the important reminders about flu, the influenza, COVID. Of course, there's also measles that's spreading in our province. We're going to talk about that with Dr. Brent Rusin. But also, I just wanted to highlight Dancing Gabe. Every year he sends us Christmas cards here at CTV, and he sent us one yesterday.
So nice.
So we're so lucky, and thank you, Gabe, so much for the cards.
No kidding.
We love having them, and they're all over the newsroom. We love them.
And they really get us into the holiday spirit, and if that doesn't help, you can just step outside because it feels quite frosty, quite like a holly jolly time, if you will. It's chilly. Minus 21 degrees with that wind chill, feels more like minus 29. A couple of clouds out there, those winds shaking around our camera out of the northwest at 14 kilometers per hour. Pressure is rising, humidity sits at 77%. Yeah, shaking if you spend too much time outside because it is so cold out there with that wind chill. This is our first real taste of those very punishing wind chills. So shivering, if you're not going to be covering yourself up, you got to make sure to protect yourself because this is the kind of conditions where you can for sure get frostbite. So really be mindful of that. The good news is plenty of sunshine on the way as evidenced by this crystal clear radar, maybe one or two clouds. However, we are kind of watching the possibility of some flurries coming our way, much like we saw yesterday. So, as mentioned, a couple clouds, particularly to the northeast, but as the day progresses, we clear out nicely. And then overnight Wednesday, we start to see some clouds roll in, and this system here likely bringing some snowfall overnight to southwestern Manitoba before fanning out and bringing them here to areas in Winnipeg and surrounding regions in the Red River Valley, while the north stays decently clear. That system, which could bring about 2 to 4 centimeters worth, should be out by Thursday night, setting the stage for more sunshine on the way. However, temperatures, I stepped out too early, but I'm committing, temperatures will be quite frosty today and into the weekend as well. Minus 16 today. We get a little warm up Thursday and Friday with a high of -8 and -9. Your weather art of the day, Amy, who's 6 years old, drew this for us and gave us a little message. Hello, CTV News. Some wonderful weather drawing there. And if you've got any pictures of your kids' weather-themed artwork, a reminder that we're featuring them every day on Your Morning Winnipeg, and we're running low on entries, so be sure to email them to us at winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Drivers parking illegally might soon have to smile for the camera. The Winnipeg Parking Authority is exploring a plan where the public can take photos of parking violations and submit them. As CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, a ticket would then be mailed to the vehicle owner based only on the photo.
Del Sexsmith sees his share of people parked where they aren't supposed to, like in front of a fire hydrant or staying past their allotted time.
Well, people go into a loading zone because they rationalize they're only going to be a few minutes, and they're in 10, 15 minutes, and before you know it, you realize they're actually in violation of the no parking zone.
Sexsmith says he'd have no problem reporting these types of infractions. In fact, he'd even snap a photo with his phone for proof.
I'm very camera friendly with my phone, and if I knew there's a place who was going that would be taken seriously, I would do it.
In one day, he might be able to do just that, and a ticket would be issued. As part of their annual business plan, the Winnipeg Parking Authority wants to study a photo-based public reporting system. And based on the photos alone, tickets would be mailed to the vehicle owners. Right now, the city says parking officers are required to investigate violations, and this could free them up. We are in the very early stages of exploring if we could enforce less serious parking violations using public submitted photographs alone. The city also says this measure could help with enforcement when officers are not available or the reported vehicle is moved by the time they get there.
So I guess it's a sense of community accountability, right?
We posed the question to people, would they turn in fellow drivers parked illegally by taking and submitting pictures?
Would I? That's a good question. Maybe if I was walking, I don't think I would stop driving to do something like that.
Olivia Olford admits she sometimes parks where she shouldn't because there is not enough on-street parking, so she's against it.
I don't think it's fair to have people penalizing other people, just trying to get through their day and park where they have to park.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Parking Authority's business plan is scheduled to be discussed at the Public Works Committee meeting next week. Premier Rob Canoe wants changes in how the public is notified when a convicted sex offender is released or breaches conditions.
I think it's time that we revisit the criteria, the policies that they use, and so I'm writing this letter to them to appeal to their expertise, to appeal to their understanding of the justice system so that we can tighten things up.
The Premier says if someone on the sex registry breaches conditions by being at a school, the public should be notified no matter what. It comes after a convicted sex offender allegedly made his way into an elementary school washroom last week in St. Vital and grabbed a student. And Canoe says the accused in this case allegedly violated conditions months earlier at a nearby high school.
From what I understand of the current policies is that when somebody on the registry breaches bail, community notification is only automatic if the bail violation is related to an offense that is sexual in nature. I think when we think about a situation where somebody's on that sex offender registry, they're at a school when they're not supposed to be, they get charged for it, they breach their bail conditions. To me, that seems like it's close enough. The common sense test would dictate that in a situation like that, the public should be notified.
Canoe's ask to the advisory committee comes a day after the province told schools to review their emergency policies on issues such as whether doors are locked and whether entrances are monitored. Schools were told to report back to the province. The province is boosting financial support to those impacted by the record-setting wildfire season. The provincial government is contributing a total of $6.5 million to individuals and small businesses in wildfire wildfire-affected regions. It's matching funds raised through the Canadian Red Cross's 2025 Manitoba Wildfires Appeal Fund. The funding includes about $2 million earmarked for small business support. The province also says registered evacuees who previously received emergency financial assistance will be eligible for $120 per adult and $65 per child. Mounties are investigating after a sharp-eyed clerk in Neepawa realized they'd been handed a counterfeit $100 bill. And now there are concerns there may be more phony banknotes circulating in the community. Take a look. Can you tell the difference? RCMP released these photos of the fake bills next to legitimate $100 bills. If you look closely, there are subtle differences. This transaction happened November 19th, and now RCMP are investigating other places in town where counterfeit bills may have also been used. Officers want to speak with this woman to find out where the bill came from. Anyone who recognizes her is asked to call Neepawa RCMP. Mounties say if you suspect you've been handed a phony bill, you should contact local police. You may hear a ringing or clanging sound the next time you visit Assiniboine Park Zoo, but don't be alarmed. What you're hearing is the zoo's muskox blowing off some steam. On social media, the zoo says it recently added this little contraption so Rumble and Emerald can practice their head butting. It's part of the zoo's efforts to provide species-specific enrichment, and so far it says the bell has been a ringing success. Sure looks like it. Here's what's happening now on Notre Dame Avenue. Things appear to be moving quite well over here. It is a cold start to your day, though, so give yourself some time to warm up your vehicle.
RBC is the latest Canadian bank to report its earnings, and it's beating analysts' estimates. Adjusted earnings per share were $3.85 compared to the consensus of $3.76 on net income of $5.43 billion. Now, it did raise its provision for credit losses slightly higher than expected to $1.01 billion. National, in the wake of the announcement it was buying part of Laurentian Bank, releases its earnings today. The Bank of Nova Scotia reported strong earnings yesterday. Toronto, like Vancouver, is seeing drops in activity. New listings and average selling prices for houses, they're all down last month as potential home buyers stayed on the sidelines. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says 5,010 homes changed hands in November, down 15.8% from the same month last year, as sales ticked 0.6% lower on a seasonally adjusted basis from October. The average selling price was down 6.4% from last year to just over $1.04 million, and the composite benchmark price was down 5.8%. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go back now to MHC Gallery, where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. They have two brand new exhibits there. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. Just in time for the Advent and Christmas season. Gansuboi, a Japanese artist, has showcased some of these works, and I can't wait to show you. It's called Present from God and utilizes Japanese paper it's called kitty, and I may be mispronouncing that, so please listen to the experts coming up at 7:27. We're going to be learning about the history of the craft alongside his niece and daughter, who's an artist. We also are going to be learning about Would Heaven and Nature Sing Too? That is on the second floor, accessible by the stairs here. And Connie Bart Hamill is the maker of those mixed media works. Look how stunning it is. There's so many more upstairs. We're going to be focusing on woodwork coming up in the 7 o'clock hour as well. So stay with us at the Canadian Mennonite University.
Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It is a cold start to the Wednesday.
It certainly is, Rochelle. We are dealing with some very extreme wind chills to the point that Environment and Climate Change Canada has issued an extreme cold warning in areas of Brochet and to Dooley Lake. However, no matter where you're at, it's going to be cold warning or not, bundle up. For us here in Winnipeg, we're at -23. That wind chill feeling more like -32, rough. And then the skies are decently clear, 1 or 2 clouds lingering. Barometric pressure is rising. Humidity sits at 78%. So we will be dealing with some sunshine today throughout the province, a good amount, in fact. But again, it won't be moving the dial too much with our temperatures. To the north, you're seeing highs in the northwest to the upper -teens, and to the northeast to the upper lower -20-degree mark. There we go. Wind chills, though, quite intense, upwards of -40 in the morning hours. For us here in the south Winnipeg, we're seeing a high of -16 14 degrees. Considering -7 is a typical high for this time of year, we're well off the mark and will likely to be for a couple of days. Sunny, decently strong northwesterly winds at 20 kilometers per hour. Overnight, however, we're tracking a kind of slow-moving clipper, likely to spread some light snow through southwestern Manitoba overnight, tracking into Winnipeg by tomorrow. About 2 to 4 centimeters of light snow is possible, with some warmer temperatures at -8 degrees.
Weather brought to you by the Winnipeg Humane Society. From all the dogs, cats, and critters, thank you for your kindness.
It's time now for our question of the day. We want to know, would you submit pictures of illegal parking? You can text your answer along with your name to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a quick break. This is what's happening now on Esplanade Riel. Things appear to be moving quite well over here. We'll see you after this.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
The city's annual winter parking route ban is now in effect. It means no parking on designated streets between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. You should be on the lookout for both winter route and snow route signs, even if the road is clear and it isn't snowing. The fine for parking in violation of the ban is $100. Cars can also be towed. The city encourages people to use its interactive real-time snow map this winter to keep up with its plowing operations. Information on whether any address or location is affected by the ban can also be found on the Know Your Zone app by using the online address lookup tool or by calling 311. A pair of rollovers shut down stretches of the Perimeter Highway Tuesday and sent one person to hospital by Stars Air Ambulance. The first rollover shut down the westbound lanes near the intersection of PR Road 330 for several hours. Winnipeg police say preliminary information indicates it was a single vehicle rollover. One person was airlifted to hospital in critical condition, while a second was brought to hospital by ambulance. A similar situation took place a short time later on the North Perimeter, where RCMP say a vehicle heading west crossed the highway and flipped onto its side in the opposite ditch. The man behind the wheel wasn't injured. Prime Minister Mark Carney has now promised to meet with coastal First Nations after a vote to oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement.
Canada can create all the MOUs, project offices, advisory groups that they want, but chiefs are united. When it comes to approving large national projects on First Nations lands, there will not be getting around rights holders.
At the Assembly of First Nations gathering in Ottawa, chiefs unanimously voted to uphold BC's Northern Coast oil tanker ban and to oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement. Prime Minister Carney said he will meet with the coastal BC chiefs and committed to a First Ministers meeting with First Nations early in the new year. He also announced his government will introduce clean drinking water legislation in the spring. Here's what's happening now at Kenaston and Sterling Lyon. It looks like things are moving quite well over here. We have no issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you do see problems out there, though, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
The Winnipeg Jewish Theatre has announced an historic co-production of a timeless classic. The theatre is partnering with Rainbow Stage to bring Fiddler on the Roof to life. The production kicks off under the dome in September 2026, directed by WJT Artistic Director Dan Petrenko. It will be the 5th time the musical comes to Rainbow Stage, where it was last produced in 1993. It follows milkman Teva and his daughters as they grapple with love, faith, and change in a shifting world. Tickets are available through the Rainbow Stage box office. Hilary Duff is heading to Las Vegas. Duff will perform at the Venetian Resort for 3 nights during Valentine's Day weekend. This will be the first time she will headline a show in more than a decade. The Vegas shows will be part of her 2026 tour titled Small Rooms, Big Nerves. Duff also plans to make stops in London, Toronto, Brooklyn, and Los Angeles during her tour. The tour will coincide with the release of her new album, Luck or Something. That album is scheduled for release on February 20th. YouTube has released its list of Canada's top trending videos of the year, and it looks like K-pop hit all the right notes with viewers.
Why does it feel right every time I let you in?
Not only was the hit Netflix animated movie K-pop Demon Hunters one of the top trending topics, but multiple songs from the musical were among the year's top trending tracks. Meantime, the song APT or Apata by Bruno Mars and Rosé, a star from the K-pop group Blackpink, was listed as the top YouTube song of the year. It is the 5th fastest music video to reach 1 billion views.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Your Wednesday night lineup starts at 7 with Shifting Gears, followed by Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. At 8:30, catch The Amazing Race, and The Floor is on at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The Bath Fitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
Taking a check-in on your weather this hour. It's a cool start to the day, no question. At -23 in Winnipeg. That wind chill, though, cooling it down to feel more like -32. 1 or 2 clouds hanging around. Winds are shifting out of the west-northwest at 14 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising, humidity sits at 78%. So we got a little dusting of snow yesterday, but mild temperatures. Today, the opposite. Sunny skies and some colder values, as evidenced by our current conditions across the province. Very chilly in Brandon at -24 degrees, -20 in Portage, over in Kenora a little bit warmer at -19. To the north, temperatures quite frigid, but as we know with that wind chill value, well, the mercury might read -23 in Churchill and -28 in Thompson. Really, it feels more like -40. In fact, there is an extreme cold warning in effect for Brochet and to Dooley Lake. However, even if you don't have a warning in place, it's going to be quite cold, so be sure to bundle up before heading outside if you must spend time outside. Meanwhile, I mentioned the sun. You can see there's very little in the way of cloud coverage showing up on our radar. That'll be the case throughout the day. And as mentioned, so we must bundle up, the kids as well as they head out. It'll be about -18 degrees as they get to class under those clear sunny skies and northwesterly winds. By lunchtime, -16, and it's sticking that way until they head home under those sunny skies. That's also our high for today. Considering -7 is a typical high value for this time of year, we're not doing too amazing in terms of the heat. Overnight tonight, we see temperatures dip down further to -19 degrees as some clouds roll in. And then tomorrow, a good chance of some light snow, about 2 to 4 centimeters worth, with some slightly warmer temperatures at -8. Your Skywatch picture of the day snapped by Brad near Douglas. A lovely shot of that orangey sunset. Thanks for getting that into us, Brad. And if you have any weather pictures to share, we'd love to see them. Email them to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thank you, Catherine. Cookie lovers in Pittsburgh are hoping they've made history. Members of a social media community have gathered to try and break the world record for the largest Christmas cookie exchange. 33 teams of 10 people came out for the exchange. Organizers say there were at least 80,000 cookies at the exchange. Right now, they're hoping to establish a record because there wasn't this specific one to break. However, they're still waiting on the largest crispy cookie exchange to be made official. We're building another toy mountain, and you can help. CTV News Winnipeg and our friends from 103.1 Virgin Radio and Bounce 99.9 will be collecting new unwrapped toys on Friday and Saturday at CF Polo Park. You can find us on the 2nd floor overlooking Centre Court. Toy Mountain donations can also be made at all Scotiabank, IKEA, Toys R Us locations, and at select Winnipeg Fire Paramedic stations. You can find a full list of locations on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Students and staff at an Edmonton college are hacking toys to benefit kids with disabilities. CTV's Merrick Takash explains.
Okay, so here's this one. Norquest College looks more like Santa's workshop these days.
It's actually strangely easy, like with the right setup and the right instructions and the right supports around you to actually take a toy and turn it into something that can be used by any child.
Hacking the Holidays is an event where students and staff remodel toys to make them more accessible for children with disabilities.
And they're creating a switch or an adaptive tech into that toy. So children that have limited mobility in their hands can now just have to press one button, making it easier for them to play with the toy.
So I'm adapting this super fun koala toy for a child with an experience of disability so that they can engage in play alongside their peers and like any other child would.
40 different items have been transformed, including this popular Lilo and Stitch toy fresh from the box.
So what I've done is I've opened it up. I've taken the switch, the switch apart from the actual functionality of the toy and then modify it to make it more accessible.
Store-bought accessible toys can cost upwards of $100. The ones created here will be donated to children in the Edmonton area through Makers Making Change.
Too bad I won't be there to see like the little person open it and like how happy they are, but it's fun to imagine.
And they'll be delivered just in time for Christmas. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
And these fishers in Peru are getting into the Christmas spirit. They dressed as Santa Claus and took to the waters in traditional reed boats to kick off their town's festive season. These reed boats are ancient watercraft used by fishers along Peru's northern coast for generations. They also gave passengers rides through the Pacific Wings. Beautiful. Here's a look at a piece of art that you can expect to find at MHC Gallery. This is their brand new exhibit. It's one of two. Stay with us for more details. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at MHC Gallery this morning, and it's a really beautiful place to visit.
Yes, it totally is. You have to see some of these Japanese artworks. I cannot wait to learn about it alongside the family of its creator, Jan Suboi. Michino and Sue join us to tell us all about him and his work. He does not speak English, so I was thinking, oh, I'd love to interview him, but unfortunately I don't speak Japanese. Thank you both for being here this morning. I cannot wait to learn about it and show you guys everything. So first things first, let's tell us about the artist.
My dad always loved art. There's always art around him. So when I was kids, he's always making cards. Like in Japan, we have a custom to making a New Year's greeting cards, like a Christmas card here. So he always making a liner card. The style is almost similar as this style, but growing up, he's making art all the time, and he loves it. Yeah.
And I've been looking for the nativity scenes too. How fitting to the time of year. So beautiful. When it comes to the process, you're his niece. Yes. How does it all work? Because it looks pretty intricate.
Yes, well, Kirie is called paper cut art. It's just taking a piece of black paper and using a knife to cut into the paper and then make an image from it.
How long do you think something like this would take?
Quite a few hours. He would work on it every morning, he said, for a couple of hours, and he would really get into the process of doing it. He does it freehand. There's no pre-sketching, so he just takes the knife and lets it lead him into the images he creates.
Wow, phenomenal. When it comes to the ones that we're showcasing today, there really is a timeline and getting us into the Christmas spirit.
Yes, for sure. Gens, he's a Christian, and his faith is what inspires his art. So, of course, all the images here reflect the images from the Bible and the life of Jesus. So, Advent is part of the life of Jesus, and so therefore, this showcases that.
And when they're in the frame too, you have to come to see it up close to really gather what it actually looks like. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Coming up at 7:42, we're learning about the second exhibition.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. And you might want to be outside to check out that art exhibit because it is cold outside.
Oh my goodness, yes. Bundle up if you must. Head outside because as evidenced by that current temperature, it's -23, and with that wind chill feeling closer to -32. One 1 or 2 clouds out there. Winds light out of the west-northwest at 14 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising and the humidity sits at 78%. Those lighter winds are kind of our only saving grace here with these very cold conditions. Our wind chill could be much worse, and that's evidenced by the fact that to the north, stronger winds are whipping up wind chill values in excess of minus 40 degrees. Also, some extreme cold warnings to tell you about in Tuduli Lake and Brochet. But no matter where you're at, it's a cold morning and clear, as evidenced by our radar. Not a lot of clouds in the sky. That'll be the case through the day. Lots of sunshine to enjoy and some cooler temperatures. If that's your vibe, this is your day. Minus 16 degrees. Again, those strong wind chills will be mostly in effect this morning and then easing into the afternoon. The winds will be ramping up out of the northwest alongside those cooler conditions at 30 kilometers per hour under those sunny skies. Overnight, temperatures dipping down to minus 19. Skies start to fill up with those clouds. Winds out of the northwest with that increase in cloudiness. And then tomorrow, milder temperatures with a high of minus 8 and some light snow expected, about 2 to 4 centimeters. Into Friday, mild with a mix of sun and cloud and a high of minus 9. And then Saturday, we get much cooler, minus 17 under the sunny skies.
The results of a new survey suggest cannabis store workers in Manitoba are dealing with disturbing levels of violence and threats while at work. The union representing those workers is sounding the alarm, calling for stronger protections.
In the beginning of this year, the store I work at was robbed at gunpoint. During the robbery, because the door was still unlocked, a 19-year-old kid came in and was also held at gunpoint.
That's just one of the many stories the union says it's heard from members working at cannabis shops. It says providing cannabis workers with the same protections as those in liquor marts is essential for the industry. The union is now calling for several legislative changes in the sector, including banning working alone. It would also like to see controlled entries and a removal of window coverings because they say they prevent outside witnesses from seeing any incident occurring inside.
It was shocking, and it wasn't shocking. We had heard firsthand from our unionized members about the concerns that they had, and these surveys from workers across the province in the cannabis industry just amplified the issues about assaults, robberies, theft, serious injuries in the workplace.
The union says it presented its findings to the province on November 17th. CTV News reached out to the Justice Minister, Matt Wiebe. In a statement, Minister Wiebe says, in part, their office is reviewing the proposal. A coalition of social groups, researchers, and others is hoping to shift the conversation around crime and crime prevention.
We have politicians who will tell us they have the solution, the easy solution, lock them up longer, treat them harsher. The fact is that's what we've always done.
That's Kate Kaler with the Social Planning Council of Winnipeg, one of dozens of groups which make up the Police Accountability Coalition. On Tuesday, it released its response to the ongoing public conversation around bail reform and tough on crime measures. Rather than doubling down on tactics such as mandatory minimum sentences and tougher bail conditions, it says governments need to spend more money to address socioeconomic factors they say drive some people to crime in the first place, such as poverty, homelessness, racial injustice, and lack of opportunity.
Of course, we need to stop it way at the beginning with social development. We need to support our children so they're not growing up in poverty. That's all of the big picture stuff. And I do need to make the point that the politicians will mention root causes, but the problem is we never get to those. They say we have to spend our money on these things first, and then we'll get to the root causes.
The group is also calling for an overhaul of the correction system to focus on addressing recidivism and reintegration into society rather than punishment. The report makes more than a dozen recommendations addressed to each level of government. Canada has announced new funding for Ukraine at a meeting of NATO foreign ministers.
And we are all working to bring the war against Ukraine to an end with a just and lasting peace.
Canada will contribute $35 million to NATO's assistance package for Ukraine. Canada will also commit $200 million to buying military equipment for Ukraine. This is under a deal for NATO allies to buy weapons from the U.S. NATO ministers are meeting as peace talks have hit a snag. Talks between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Special U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff ended without a major breakthrough. Russia remains unwilling to compromise on conceding territory to Ukraine. This morning, a Kremlin spokesperson said President Putin did accept some U.S. proposals, and Russia remains ready to negotiate. If you're looking for a gift for the royal watcher in your life, consider one of these. Christmas stockings made from drapes from the King Charles Sandringham estate are being auctioned off to raise money for his foundation. There are 25 stockings, and they've been hand-stitched by a sewing circle at Dumfries House in Scotland, which is where Charles's charitable foundation works to preserve traditional skills and crafts. Each of the 25 stockings are being individually numbered as well. 1 to 24 will be sold, and the 25th will be given to the King as a Christmas gift. Some road closures to remind you about this morning following the rush hours. The eastbound curb lane on Ellis will be closed between Home and McGee. The southbound curb lane of Henderson will be closed between Fraser's to Mossdale. The northbound middle lane on Memorial Boulevard will be closed from St. Mary to Portage. If you have any other traffic tips, please let us know. And here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.31. The provincial average is slightly lower at $1.23. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.21. And the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.09. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Oh yeah, it's a cold start to your Wednesday. It's minus 23 with a wind chill, though. It feels like minus 32. Bundle up today when you head out. We'll be back after this short break.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Wow, is it frigid to start off our Wednesday? Minus 23 degrees with that wind chill, feeling more like minus 32. Couple clouds out there, winds out of the west-northwest, pressure rising, humidity at 78%. Yeah, my coffee hasn't quite hit, but if ever I need to wake up, I just step outside because that frigid air hits you and you are awake, let me tell you, folks. We are waking up to some clear skies in addition to those very punishing temperatures. Very few clouds picking up on our skycast. There are one or two visible in downtown Winnipeg. Meantime, it'll be a little bit cloudier in areas to the northeast and quite a bit colder. Temperatures will rise to about minus 22 in Island Lake, minus 21 in Thompson, minus 23 in Gillam, minus 22 in Churchill with some chances for flurry activity. However, that wind chill activity this morning is making it feel in excess of minus 40. I'm going to sound like your nagging mom, but be sure to bundle up as you head outside because it is quite cold to the point where you get frostbite if you have exposed skin. Slightly warmer to the northwest, very slight. As you can see, temperatures peaking in the upper minus teens in Lynn Lake and Norway House, the low minus 20s. Good amount of sunshine heading your way, along with some pretty strong northwesterly winds. Southwestern Manitoba, much the same as we're seeing here. Clear sunny skies, temperatures in the mid-teens. Also some very cold wind chills in the morning hours specifically. It'll feel more like minus 30, and it is already this morning. Here in Winnipeg and surrounding regions, minus 16 degrees is our high. Minus 7 is what's typical for this time of year. Lots of sunshine to enjoy. So if you bundle up and take those precautions, it can be rather pleasant to be outside. And to northwest Ontario we go, where temperatures are akin to what we're seeing here in Manitoba, but add in a little bit more cloud coverage, a mix of sun and cloud expected for you. Overnight, we'll start to see those clouds roll in Winnipeg, temperatures dipping down to minus 19. That wind chill wearing back to life. It's going to feel upwards of minus 30 once again. Tomorrow, a milder day, but we're throwing in some light snow, much like we saw yesterday. A very weak clipper moving in could bring about 2 to 4 centimeters worth with that high of minus 8. And into Friday, the sunshine reemerges with a high of minus 9.
Thank you, Catherine. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We've been talking about MHC Gallery. They have 2 exhibits there. We've seen one so far. Now you're going to show us the next one. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, and I absolutely love the name of this one because how fitting, first of all, to the holiday season, and secondly, would heaven and nature sing? And I can't wait for you guys to see it. Connie joins us now, the artist behind the work. Tell us a little bit about everything that you've presented here and some of its themes.
The themes are based on the prayer by Pope Francis called Care for the Earth, wherein all-powerful Creator is present in everything, from the universes to the very smallest of creatures, and embraces lovingly all that exists. So with that inspiration, I was working on icons being images that do not necessarily look like God, but remind us of the presence of God. Therein, I focus on female saints predominantly, besides Jesus, of course. Jesus and his mother, the loving relationship and the bond that they create, and always in the harmony of our hearts. With Christmas, too, we rejoice in the birth and the nativity of hope. I have a variety of saints presented in various mediums. My technique is one of carving, which I've integrated, but I've also used egg tempera in the traditional sense of the icon.
First time you said that to me, I said, egg? You said, yeah.
Egg, yes. Yeah. It's a mixture of a little bit of vinegar and egg yolk, and then the pigment in it, a special pigment that goes directly into the clay bond that is on the base of your painting. And it is very difficult to work with, as well as very strict in its use of colors, which are traditional colors, traditional line. These are Byzantine, they're very old lines that everybody follows in the strict sense.
Connie, thank you so much. Connie Bart Hamill, Would Heaven and Nature Sing? You're going to have to come down to the gallery to check it out yourself.
Thank you, Ainsley. What you eat may lower your risk of Alzheimer's, even if you're at high risk for the disease. A new study suggests that the Mediterranean diet could offer extra brain protection. ABC's Alex Stone has more.
Research in Nature Medicine finds a Mediterranean diet rich in fish, olive oil, fruits, and whole grains may be especially beneficial for people who carry the ApoE4 gene, the strongest known genetic risk factor for Alzheimer's. Scientists tracked over 5,700 adults for nearly 30 years, analyzing diet, genetics, and brain health. They found those with 2 copies of the ApoE4 gene had higher levels of dementia-linked blood markers. However, those who are at risk for Alzheimer's who stuck closely to a Mediterranean-style diet showed healthier blood chemistry and slower cognitive decline. Eating a Mediterranean diet is easy and delicious. Use olive oil for cooking, eat fatty fish like salmon, snack on nuts, fill your plate with colorful veggies, and choose whole grains over refined ones. Even if your genes put you at risk, your diet could help tip the scales back in your favor.
Quebec has now tabled new legislation targeting ticket resellers. The bill will require resellers to let buyers know if tickets could be found cheaper somewhere else. Resellers also have to disclose information on which seats are being sold, the original ticket price, and the name of the previous ticket owner. Tickets can only be resold for a profit with permission from the event producer. The bill also sets limits on automatic subscription renewals.
It can be very easy to subscribe online, but then when comes the time to unsubscribe from a service, then you need to jump through hoops.
The bill would require companies to make it simple for people to cancel by providing an easy-to-see unsubscribe button on their websites. This applies to streaming sites, food delivery services, gyms, and telecommunication companies. Deck the halls for your chance to win and be featured on Your Morning Winnipeg. Here at Your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decorated for the holidays. All those nutcrackers, lights, and trees could help you win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and have the chance to show off your holiday house live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures. Good luck. Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy birthday, Mary, with love from your family and friends. And a happy birthday, Dakota, from friends and family. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff. 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful, helping your home get holiday ready with blinds from Hunter Douglas.
While it is quite cold out here, we are well off that record set back in 1893 of minus 35.6, and we are also well off an average high for this time of year. Minus 7 is what's typical. We are getting up to a high of minus 16 degrees. So yes, while we're outside and it's cold, if you dress for it, it's crystal clear and lovely out here. Although yes, the mercury quite contemptuous, if you will. Minus 23 degrees with that wind chill, feels more like minus 32. 1 or 2 clouds, but not terribly evident down here in downtown Winnipeg. Winds are out of the west-northwest. Pressure's rising. Humidity sits at 78%. So we'll deal with sunshine all across Manitoba today. However, with it comes very cold temperatures. In the north, those are highs in the upper minus teens. For the northwest to the northeast, the upper minus lower 20s. There we go. I haven't nailed that all morning. That wind chill value is cooling it off considerably from there. In the morning hours, right now, in fact, it feels more like minus 40 in Thompson and Churchill. For us here, it's no picnic. As you saw, it's minus 32 with the wind chill here in Winnipeg. That's the case throughout much of southern Manitoba. We'll see that ease into the afternoon, with much of southern Manitoba getting to highs in the mid-minus teens and some decent winds. Overnight, skies cloud over, and we're tracking a low pressure system that could bring about 2 to 4 centimeters of light snow tomorrow. The good news is we do get a warm up with a high of minus 9.
The holiday season is upon us. That means shopping in busy malls, work parties, and family gatherings. Health officials are seeing a spike in reported influenza cases across the country. According to Manitoba's respiratory virus surveillance report, 29 people with the flu were admitted to hospital, 3 in the intensive care unit, and 1 person died last month from November 16th to the 22nd. Joining us now with important reminders on how to protect ourselves and our loved ones this season is Chief Provincial Public Health Officer Dr. Brent Rusin. Good morning, Dr. Rusin.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we know that we're seeing some numbers. What are we seeing in terms of, we know the numbers are going up across the country. What are we seeing here at home?
Yeah, so we are seeing now significant influenza activity. So last few weeks, we've been seeing a consistently increasing numbers, increasing test positivity for influenza. And that's influenza A, the H3N2 is the predominant subtype that we're seeing now.
Okay, and then there's one in Australia that was causing some trouble. It's the subclade K, right?
That's right, yeah, subclade K, and that's also what we're seeing here at this point. And so we know, we've heard of reports of potentially, increase in severity with this, potential not as great a match with a vaccine. But every year we don't know the exact match until later on in the season. So, still this doesn't change our messaging. Our best protection against influenza is getting that vaccine.
Now let's talk about influenza and why it is so dangerous.
Well, so this is a respiratory virus. It's easily transmitted when people cough or sneeze or just in close contact with somebody who is ill, and can cause quite a severe respiratory illness with secondary complications. Those at most risk are those over 65, those under 5, and then of course those with underlying medical conditions. So every year when we see hospitalizations in ICU, those are the type of individuals that we see in the ICU are people with poorly controlled chronic diseases and unvaccinated.
Okay, and it could be deadly.
Absolutely, well. we see influenza deaths every single year.
Okay, what about COVID numbers? What are we seeing with that?
Yeah, and so COVID, we see that it still hasn't declared itself as a seasonal virus. We see it spread throughout the year, and we see high numbers even throughout summer and early fall. As we're starting to see influenza numbers pick up, we're seeing a small decline in COVID numbers, but it's still causing significant issues. And again, those at high risk, those over 65 and underlying medical conditions, highly recommend getting that vaccine this fall.
What about RSV?
So RSV, a little early, not seeing a lot of transmission at this point, but we know that always plays a significant role, especially with the younger population.
Okay, so we're gathering with our families real soon. The holidays are upon us, hanging out with coworkers for holiday parties as well. What messaging do you have for the public?
Right, and so every year we see significant impacts on individuals, on families, on the healthcare system with respiratory virus season, and so it's upon us to really protect ourselves. So one is that vaccine. Anyone who's eligible to receive that vaccine for both COVID and influenza, we highly recommend it. And then the messaging that is we've all come used to here, right? Stay home if you're really ill. Hand wash washing, coughing into the sleeves, and really can protect ourselves and the people around us.
Are you seeing an uptick in vaccination rates, or is it dropping?
Well, vaccine rates for influenza is fairly stable. We're very similar to this time last year. This time last year for COVID, fairly stable as well. But certainly the COVID vaccine has dropped significantly since the height of the pandemic.
Okay, so let's talk about measles, because measles is also something that's spreading in our communities, and people will be gathering, and that is also a risk. What reminders do you have about that?
So measles is the best example of how effective vaccines are for this, and so we see measles now spreading over 6 months in the province, approaching 280 cases, but we see the predominant spread in areas that have lower vaccine rates. We're not seeing it in areas with good vaccine uptake, and that's just as another example of how effective this vaccine is. So same thing, those who are eligible to be vaccinated, we highly recommend that. People who are ill, showing any symptoms of measles, that high fever, the cough, that rash, please get tested. Please see a healthcare provider, or at the very least, stay home if you're not that ill.
Okay, Dr. Russin, thanks for your time today.
Thanks very much.
Matt Scooby in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday, and for it, we head to Florida. Maple Leafs Panthers Austin Matthews finds Nicholas Waugh, who is robbed by the blocker of Sergei Bobrovsky. What a save, getting across to keep that puck out of the net. A fantastic save, the best of the day. That is your must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, we've got a PWHL doubleheader. First up, the Golden Knights face the Fleet. Then the Sirens will square off with the Torrent. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds, helping your home get holiday ready with Blinds by Hunter Douglas.
It's Wednesday, December 3rd. Will enforcement go public? If approved, a plan from Winnipeg's Parking Authority could essentially deputize citizens to report violators. Pipeline promise. The Prime Minister commits to meet with First Nations leaders from BC's coast after the rejection of Alberta's pipeline plans. And salmonella in Manitoba. How many here have become sick after eating contaminated pistachio products, currently under a wide-ranging series of recalls? Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is 8 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us. And coming up a little later, we're going to hear about a local filmmaker that was selected by both TIFF and the National Film Board for one of his films that he produced. He's 23 years old. We're going to introduce you to him a little later. And also, Amero Little Christmas is back for the holidays, and we're going to get some performances here in our studio.
I'm also 23 years old, just for the record. Why are you laughing? What's so funny? Kim is laughing in my ear. I didn't know it was so funny. You know what's not funny, Rochelle, though?
I think the weather is getting with you.
Rochelle, just stop now. Rochelle. No, yes, absolutely. Going outside will make you lose your senses if you're not dressed for it. It is chilly out there. That's an understatement. Minus 23 degrees with that wind chill. Feels more like minus 32. A couple clouds lingering, west-northwesterly winds, pressure rising, humidity at 78%. Yeah, I think the reason it feels so rough out there is because we had such a mild fall, and then these conditions have really taken a tumble over the last couple of days. There hasn't been a smooth entry into winter. It's felt like a bit of a crash landing into that icy terrain. The good news is today, though, if all that doom and gloom isn't such happy news for you this morning, there will be lots of sunshine. Get outside, bundle up if you are heading out that way, because the sunshine will be lovely, but not bringing a ton of heat. Meanwhile, we are tracking the possibility for flurries to return to us here in southern Manitoba, excuse me. Not today. As you can see, we're staying relatively clear, but we see incoming from the west, this system here, along with a good amount amount of cloud coverage. That system moves down to southwestern Manitoba, likely bringing flurry activity, or rather light snow, overnight to Brandon, Dauphin, that neck of the woods, Swan River, and then moves into our region by Thursday morning. About 2 to 4 centimeters of light snow is possible before skies clear out overnight Thursday. Meanwhile, another system rolling in brings a good chance of some flurry activity to northern Manitoba, but it tracks through pretty quickly, as you can see on Friday morning, while we deal with a mix of sun and cloud. In terms of our temperatures, quite frigid as mentioned. -16 degrees is our high today. That wind chill will be easing into the afternoon. -7 is what's typical, and we're a bit off that mark, at least for today. Your weather art of the day drawn by 6-year-old Amy. Just a great picture there of all the weather conditions that can fluctuate in Manitoba. Thanks for submitting, and if you've got photos of your kids' weather-themed artwork, email them to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Drivers parking illegally might soon have to smile for the camera. The Winnipeg Parking Authority is exploring a plan where the public can take photos of parking violations and submit them, triggering a ticket in the mail for the vehicle owner.
People go into a loading zone because they rationalize they're only going to be a few minutes, and they're in 10, 15 minutes, and before you know it, you realize they're actually in violation of the no parking zone.
Del Sexsmith says he often sees his share of cars parked illegally, like in front of a fire hydrant or staying past their allotted time. Sexsmith says he'd have no problem reporting these types of infractions. In fact, he'd even snap a photo with his phone for proof. One day he might be able to do just that, and a ticket would be issued. As part of its new business plan, the Winnipeg Parking Authority wants to study a photo-based public reporting system. Right now, the city says parking officers are required to investigate violations, and this change could free them up. Some Winnipeggers CTV News spoke to say they'd have misgivings about turning in fellow drivers.
I don't think it's fair to have people penalizing other people, just trying to get through their day and park where they have to park.
The Parking Authority's business plan is scheduled to be discussed at the Public Works Committee meeting next week. An outbreak of salmonella infections linked to pistachios has made its way to Manitoba. An update from the Canada Food Inspection Agency shows 3 confirmed illnesses in Manitoba linked to salmonella from consuming pistachios or products containing them. Across the country, there have been a total of 155 cases. 24 people were hospitalized, though none have died. The CFIA notes that these are only the lab-confirmed cases, adding the actual number of sick people in Canada is likely much higher. The first notification of salmonella contamination in pistachios was issued on July 24th. Since then, the agency has issued almost 70 separate recall advisories of products containing potentially contaminated pistachios. More details are available at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Prime Minister Mark Carney has now promised to meet with coastal First Nations after a vote to oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement.
It can create all the MOUs, project offices, advisory groups that they want, but chiefs are united. When it comes to approving large national projects on First Nations lands, there will not be getting around rights holders.
At the Assembly of First Nations gathering in Ottawa, chiefs unanimously voted to uphold BC's Northern Coast oil tanker ban and to oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement. Prime Minister Carney said he will meet with the coastal BC chiefs and committed to a First Ministers meeting with First Nations early in the new year. He also announced his government will introduce clean drinking water legislation in the spring. Here's what's happening now on Osborne Street. Looks like things are moving well here. We have no issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you have any traffic tips to share, please let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail. We are live this morning at MHC Gallery. They have 2 exhibits we've seen. We've kind of been getting a glimpse of both of them this morning. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Michelle. Yeah, what a privilege. And it's so great to see mixed media artwork. But this Japanese paper is transformed into so many different prints here as well that you can pick up just in time for the new year. So Sally and Michino join us once again to tell us all about it. So first of all, give an overview for those who didn't hear earlier on in the show what this exhibition is all about.
So this exhibition is of kirie, which is paper cut art, and this was all here in the gallery, but we can make prints from those kirie, and in fact, again, would make prints of these kirie and send out cards to us at Christmas. So we thought with this exhibit, it would be perfect to make Christmas cards and also have a calendar of his art, and there's also prints available too.
So it's coming back full circle. What does that mean for you guys who are family members?
Oh, it's wonderful. We've always thought that it'd be great. We received his cards every year at Advent, and then we thought, oh, it would be wonderful to have a calendar of all the images, and now that's finally come to pass.
What is so unique and special about this type of artwork in particular?
Well, it's monochromatic, so it's very, it gives you a great contrast in images in the black and white. So it's really very ideal for prints.
And you can see in the visual here, again, actually curating the work itself. It appears to be pretty tedious and meticulous.
Yes. Oh, the work itself is very, 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 very detailed. But you know, you get into the zone when you're doing it, and that's what he's doing. He's completely absorbed in it, and everything is coming out of his knowledge of the Bible.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, a print of the calendar. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Thank you both so much for being here. This is running until just after the 20th of December. I would head to the website to clarify all those details.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Holiday lights can make a home look festive, but they can also be frustrating as they often need to be replaced. Experts say there are some things you can do to try and make them last. CTV's Pat Foran reports.
Some homes are already decked out for the holidays, and some homeowners spare no expense to have their properties look great for the festive season.
It never seems to fail. Every year when I do my Christmas and holiday lights, there always seems to be at least one or two strings that don't work, and it's hard to know when should you fix them and when should you throw them out.
Number one rule is to make sure that you unplug things before you attempt to fix them.
Kyle Tobin of Christmas Lights Toronto says his company has been decorating homes for the past 35 years. He says, unfortunately, many holiday lights are not built to last.
The problem is that consumer lights, retail version lights, are not designed to withstand more than 1 or 2 seasons, whereas commercial grade lights are meant to be replaceable. Parts can be retrofitted so that they can be maintained to last many years.
Tobin says wet, freezing temperatures are also hard on outdoor lights.
Brittle wire, water, and corrosion. Those are the biggest culprits of things that make a light strand disposable.
If you have a strand that won't light, there are 2 fuses behind a small door on the plug. Replacing them with fuses that came with your original set or that you purchased separately could fix the problem.
If this doesn't fix it, there's a good chance you need to throw out your lights. Plug her in, and if it works, then you've probably solved the problem.
Also check bulbs for corrosion.
When this corrosion happens from moisture getting in and age, you develop something that's going to interrupt the flow of electricity.
A recap: 4 common fixes for burnt-out string lights. Replace the fuses, swap burnt-out bulbs, check bulbs and the cord for damage, and if bulbs are rust-colored and the wire is brittle and frayed, recycle the lights and get a new set. Tobin says using damaged lights is not worth the fire risk, as you want to be sure you have a safe holiday season. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
Casting our eye to the sky, it's cool and clear out there, minus 22 degrees. That wind chill punishing at minus 32. Again, lots of sunshine to enjoy. Winds on the light side out of the northwest at 16 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising. Humidity at 82%. So yes, bundle up if you're heading outside today, because we're in the territory that any exposed skin could fall to frostbite. So be sure to take those precautions, because look at these temperatures, and we know they only tell part of the story. In fact, let me move out of the way so northwestern Ontario can get a gander. Highs this morning in the low minus 20s to minus upper teens. With that wind chill in the south, it feels upwards of minus 30 or minus 35 degrees in the southwest. Even chillier to the north, while the thermostat might read minus 23 in Churchill and minus 28 in Thompson. Wind chills there feel more like minus 40. So again, dangerous conditions if heading outside. Bundle up. I'm not done nagging you for the day, because we don't want to get frostbite. We will be dealing with lots of sunshine, so that'll be on the pleasant condition we can enjoy if we can enjoy those temperatures. Not a lot to tell you about with the cloud coverage. Certainly when you put the kids on the bus, you want to be bundling them up for the day ahead, because it's going to be chilly at -18 degrees as they get to class, -16 as they take lunch. Not a ton changing as they head home. That is our high today, -16 degrees. -7 is a typical high. Winds will stay on the lighter side out of the northwest at 20 kilometers per hour. Overnight, we see some clouds roll in, temperatures dipping down to -19, but that fierce wind chill returns. Likely it's going to feel closer to -30. And tomorrow we get a bit of a warm up with a chance of some light snow. About 2 to 4 centimeters is expected. We're chatting with a very promising young filmmaker from Manitoba. Those details just ahead.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
RBC is the latest Canadian bank to report its earnings, and it's beating analysts' estimates. Adjusted earnings per share were $3.85 compared to the consensus of $3.76 on net income of $5.43 billion. Now, it did raise its provision for credit losses slightly higher than expected to $1.01 billion. National, in the wake of the announcement it was buying part of Laurentian Bank, releases its earnings today. The Bank of Nova Scotia reported strong earnings yesterday. Toronto, like Vancouver, is seeing drops in activity. New listings and average selling prices for houses, they're all down last month as potential home buyers stayed on the sidelines. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says 5,010 homes changed hands in November, down 15.8% from the same month last year, as sales ticked 0.6% lower on a seasonally adjusted basis from October. The average selling price was down 6.4% from last year to just over $1.04 million, and the composite benchmark price was down 5.8%. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Franchement, on a dit, c'est une femme Première Nation. Qu'est-ce que ça fait dans notre boîte de photos de famille?
The National Film Board of Canada and the Toronto International Film Festival, or TIFF, have partnered with a new initiative to inspire, motivate, and finance the next generation of filmmakers. The initiative is called Redefined, and 5 Canadian and Indigenous filmmakers aged 30 and under were selected as finalists, including a Red River Métis animator from Winnipeg. Filmmaker Maxime Kornichuk is 23 years old, and his project Là où nos fleurs poussent was picked out of 240 submissions. Joining us now is Winnipeg artist and filmmaker Maxime Kornichuk. Good morning, Maxime.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Tell us a little bit about this project that you worked on and how it even became one of the entries in this competition.
Yeah, so my original project, what we just showed on the TV was Nos Fleurs en Pelle, which was a student project I made when I was in university. It was my final project, and I really wanted to do this story about my family and our Métis heritage, because this wasn't something that we talked about for a very long time, and that my animation style kind of came from very heavily inspired from beadwork, using beads to kind of create these visuals of floral beadwork on the screen.
Okay, and so then you submitted it.
Yeah.
How did you find out you were one of the finalists or the winner?
Yeah. So at first it was kind of silent for a while, and the NFB was actually here in Winnipeg for an event, and because I'd made connections at a film festival, I went to the event, and at that time I'd already thought, you know what, like it's not going to happen. It's like I didn't get an answer yet, and it's supposed to happen quite quickly, and so they ended up telling me, we haven't even picked people yet, so like don't worry, there's still a chance. So I got an email for an interviewed them. A couple weeks later, I found out I got it, which was just like truly the craziest feeling, and I still can't quite process, and I'm so over the moon about it, and I'm so proud and so honored to be chosen for something like this.
Absolutely. Okay, so what is it that you want people to know about this production that got you in, and your process? How do you do it?
Yeah, so it's a story about my mom and my grandmother and how it was through different generations growing up Métis, but not being able to talk about it, and not even really knowing. My mom's first story is about discovering it when she was 10 years old, and it was something she didn't know. So it was really interesting to kind of hear their stories and share their stories. And my animation style is working on a scanner using beads for Indigenous beadwork, and creating my frame, covering it, scanning it, and doing that about 1,000 more times.
That is so exciting. And so you were selected, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
What happens next for you? What's the next part of this process?
Yeah, so already meetings for production have already begun. So I had a long meeting yesterday with a beautiful team, my incredible team. My producer Yelena's amazing, and we start production very, very soon, just for everything. And you know, we've reached out to people. It's another story about Métis people, and this one's more open to the community this time. So it's already kind of talking with people, figuring out how it's going to look, how everything's going to work.
Yeah.
And if you've seen my short film, Nos Fleurs en Perles, it's very similar. It's inspired. It's a proof of concept. But of course, with the National Film Board and how much they're offering and all the support that they're giving me, it's definitely going to be something. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve that I can't quite share yet.
Very exciting. And you will be at TIFF this year. What does that mean to you?
My God, I don't even have the words to describe it. Like, it's truly insane to describe. It's always kind of been a joke with my friends, like, oh, one day I'll be at TIFF, you know. Yeah. And it turns out, since this will be my professional premiere, because I've only ever done student films, this will be considered my premiere. To have it at TIFF and to be with the National Film Board, something that I grew up with and something that I've looked up to my entire life.
That's amazing.
Is just, oh my God, I don't even have the words to describe how that feels.
Well, congratulations, and you'll have to come back and let us know how it all goes.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maxim.
It's a good day to curl up with a movie because it is quite chilly out here. Minus 22 degrees with that wind chill. It feels more like minus 32. Clear and sunny, lighter northwesterly winds. Pressure rising. Humidity sits at 82%. On the movie theme, it's Frozen today. It is a winter wonderland, if you will. That's because we're dealing with lots of sunshine, but very cold temperatures. To the north especially, while highs will be in the upper minus teens or low minus 20s in the north, from the northwest to the northeast, that wind chill is making it feel upwards of minus 40 this morning. Lots of sunshine for you. Same for us here in southern Manitoba. Temperatures slightly milder. Milder seems like a silly word to use considering our wind chills feel like minus 30. Our highs, though, will be minus 16 in Winnipeg. Minus 7 is a typical value for this time of year. We're going to be well off that mark. Overnight, temperatures dip to minus 19, but that wind chill rears up again, feeling more like minus 35. And then tomorrow, a warmer day ahead with some light snow expected. Your Skywatch picture of the day, Brad snapped this stunning sunset near Douglas. Thank you to Brad for sending that in, and send yours in, why don't you, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
We're building a toy mountain. CTV News Winnipeg and our friends from 103.1 Virgin Radio and Bounce 99.9 will be collecting new unwrapped toys on Friday and Saturday at CF Polo Park. You can find us on the second floor overlooking Centre Court. Toy mountain donations can also be made at all Scotiabank, IKEA, Toys R Us locations, and at select Winnipeg Fire Paramedic stations.
Well, the holidays are here, and that means it's time for gifts, festive outfits, and all the cozy, stylish pieces that make this season so fun. To give us some gift ideas for those who love fashion or to treat ourselves, we're joined now by fashion and lifestyle expert Natalie Sexton. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. So good to see you.
You too. You look fabulous. Now, speaking of which, where can we find luxe-feeling holiday gifts without breaking the bank?
Absolutely. So my first stop on the holiday shopping list was Marshall's. And what I love about Marshall's is it's a great place to do the one gift for you and then one gift for me idea.
I love it. Yes.
So I thought, like you said, luxe gifts. So they have so much cashmere in store right now. Ooh. And at every price point as well. Yeah. I'm sharing some really cool gift sets with you. So what I love is that you get the really cute toque with the pom-pom and then a matching scarf. It's a fun way to give somebody maybe a fun color that they don't have in their wardrobe already. You know, you can never have enough sort of hats and scarves, and then maybe a pair of beautiful gloves in a statement color, or even a gorgeous cashmere sweater. Like whether that's in a neutral or a bold color, you can't go wrong.
I love statement color gloves in particular myself, but that all looks beautiful. But we're just getting started. How can we bring back the festive sparkle into our holiday wardrobe, but do it on a budget?
Okay, I found the most incredible sparkly pieces at Giant Tiger. Their holiday collection this season is amazing. All the pieces that I'm showing you are under $30, including this gorgeous sequins dress. So something in a really, the idea for me behind choosing maybe more of a statement color and certainly a sparkle is go for a classic silhouette that's going to make it more wearable. You're going to be able to pair it with a lot of different options. Blazer over top, add a belt. That dress is $25. I also found some really fun holiday sweaters. I think throwing a couple of holiday sweaters in the mix is always a great idea. And pair that with your sparkly pieces too.
Very smart. Now, when it comes to confidence boosting and self-care, how do we sort of address that with something we actually would want to wear over the holidays?
Yes, well, I am excited to share Shapermint with you. You'll find them at shapermint.com. They're also available at Walmart now, too, which is awesome. And they have the largest, one of the largest size-inclusive shapewear brands out there. They are the most comfortable shaping essentials I have ever put on my body. They feel like butter. A couple of key items for me would be the all-day, everyday scoop neck cami or bodysuit. You've got the adjustable straps, adjustable snaps with the bodysuit. Really gives you that nice tummy control, but you still feel comfortable. And then the high-waisted shaping shorts. Those are fantastic under all of those holiday dresses as well. They've got the silicone band around the waist too, so they stay put. You're not feeling like you have to kind of tug them all the time, which is awesome. And they do a 60-day guarantee on all their pieces.
Sounds great. Okay, now I'll ask you this. Us Manitobans, we're all eyes and ears for this one, Natalie. Winter boots that are both functional and fashion forward. Where can we find those?
I've got you covered, and they're a hometown brand from Hamilton, Baffin Boots, right? So you'll find them at baffin.com. I'm sharing a couple of my favorite styles, but you certainly can find everything on their site. I'm sharing the Maribel, which is like a higher, kind of like, looks like a cool moon boot. It comes in 3 different colorways, from neutrals to brights. They're super lightweight, they're waterproof, so warm. And then the shorter Rosa style, another great option. Like, you can wear these with everything, and I love that they have the side zip.
Very cute.
So easy on and off, right? And the toggle, waterproof, comfortable, fashion and function. I've got you covered.
Sounds great. I have a pair of Baffins too. They're great. Natalie, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop. The Bath Fitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
Quite the frigid start to your Wednesday. -22 in Winnipeg. That wind chill, though, making it feel about 10 degrees cooler. Sunny, clear, light northwesterly winds, pressure rising, humidity sits at 82%. So yes, we are contending with some much colder values than we've been seeing for a good number of days, that's for sure. We had a very mild fall, and we've had a very rough entry into winter, I'll say. The good news is, if the temperatures won't reflect it, we do have a good amount of sunshine unfolding across the province, as evidenced by the fact that I have very little to show you on our radar. 1 or 2 cloud speckling areas, but for the most part, it's going to be nice and clear. But yes, cold. Temperatures in the northeast are likely to be the frostiest in all of the province. -21 in Thompson, -23 in Gillam, -22 in Churchill with that risk of flurries, -22 in Island Lake. Caveat that wind chill value very extreme this morning, feeling upwards of -40, particularly in Gillam and Churchill. So bundle up if you must head outside. Not quite as cold, but still nothing to sneeze at. It's so chilly out there that there is actually a extreme cold warning from Environment and Climate Change Canada in Brochet and to Dooley Lake. But even if you're not included, you must take those precautions, because look at this stretch of Manitoba. -18 in Opaskwayak Cree Nation and the Paw, -19 in Flin Flon, even cooler in Lynn Lake under that mix of sun and cloud. Southwestern Manitoba, you're dealing with highs into the mid-teens. Decent northwesterly winds at about 20 kilometers per hour. A good amount of sunshine in Brandon, more of a mix of sun and cloud in Dauphin, Neepawa, and Swan River. For us here, similar highs, clear skies. That rhymed without meaning to. Northwestern Ontario, a mix of sun and cloud for you, highs in the upper -teens. Cooler temperatures on the way overnight at -19, but we heat up nicely into Thursday with a high of -8 and a risk of some light snow.
The city's annual winter parking route ban is now in effect. It means no parking on designated streets between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. You should be on the lookout for both winter route and snow route signs, even if the road is clear and it isn't snowing. The fine for parking in violation of the ban is $100. Cars can also be towed. The city encourages people to use its interactive real-time snow map this winter to keep up with its plowing operations. A new Indigenous-led downtown campus officially opened Tuesday following a $14 million expansion project.
It's so exciting for our community, our young people, our relatives that are going to be able to access this space. Not only for coming here for like programming, but just to come here because it feels like home.
Gani Ganichuk, a nonprofit providing education and job skills training, celebrated the opening of its new facility at 455 McDermott Avenue. It says the revitalized space has added 32 new daycare spaces, a community kitchen, as well as training and education rooms. The organization's executive director says the space will be pivotal in providing youth programming and teaching kids how to stay safe.
Now that we have the space, we're able to provide a lot more, to the community and to our youth and our young people.
More than $6.3 million for the expansion project came from the Federal Green and Inclusive Community Buildings program. Put on your toques and gloves and be sure to bring a tin or two for the bin. The CPKC holiday train rolls into Winnipeg this evening. The festive train, featuring live music, performances, and thousands of colored lights, is scheduled to stop at Panet and Molson at 9:15 p.m. Singers Jade Eagleson and Tegan Gaze will entertain the crowd. CPKC donates to the local food bank at each stop. On December 5th, the holiday train heads west for stops in Portage la Prairie, Neepawa, and Minnedosa. A Calgarian is one of 30 semi-finalists in a global science competition. The grade 10 student beat out nearly 5,000 others with her video submission. CTV's Kevin Fleming has more.
Now, we use pluripotent stem cells, shape-shifting potions that can become any tissue from the 3 germinators.
The created video is 2 minutes long, and Annie Odofia learned about organoids after researching her mom's retinal eye surgery.
Well, organoids are is a cool scientific concept where scientists are able to use 3D cell cultures, which are just stem cells from your body, and they're able to actually turn them to mimic the structure and function of actual human organs.
Her video was noticed by judges in the Breakthrough Junior Challenge, a global science video contest. She made the cut from 5,000 applicants to just 30 semi-finalists.
Yeah, I'm really pumped about it. I'm still kind of processing the fact that I'm actually in the top 30 for a global competition, but I'm extremely grateful, and I'm grateful for everyone that has helped me and supported me.
Annie's mom says her daughter has always been interested in STEM subjects and isn't surprised she's done so well in this competition.
This is a proud mommy moment right here. So her father, her sister, and I, we are incredibly proud of Annie's achievement. Annie, right from a very young age, I would say that Annie has been an outstanding go-getter.
Now Annie has to rely on the public for a little help in the challenge. She needs people to watch her video on Facebook or YouTube and click on the heart or like icon. The more votes she gets, the better her chances.
They can help out by actually watching the video, but more importantly, liking it, because in order for you to become a regional champion per se, or even win the popular vote, it's the video that has the most number of likes.
The People's Choice category closes on December 9th, and that's when Annie will find out if she's made it to the finals. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Make sure to get online and vote for Annie. Here's a look at what's going on right now in traffic along the St. James Bridge. It looks like things are moving well over here. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. Now let's take a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.31. The provincial average is slightly lower at $1.23. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.21, and the lowest price in the city is $1.09. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
For our question of the day, we wanted to know, would you submit pictures of illegal parking? Gina says absolutely not. Trevor says never. People need to mind their own business. Bereth would submit pictures because people in her neighborhood park obstructing sidewalks. Marlene also would, saying for snow cleaning, it costs us taxpayers double when they have to do it twice over one car. Harold and Irene say they definitely send in photos. However, before that happens, they'd have to see how the system will work. Does the photographer remain anonymous or have to go to court if the person chooses to fight the photo? Chris says, I work downtown and it sounds like a very fun scavenger hunt to play on my lunch break. Judy says, yes, I would definitely take a picture of the illegal parking, especially big trucks in handicapped or child spots. Peter would submit photos and says it's simple. If you don't want a ticket, don't park illegally. Thank you very much for your responses. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live this morning and showing us some art. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. At the Canadian Mennonite University's exhibitions, plural, there's more than one. Sarah's joining me once again. And you have until the 20th to catch these. You're not going to want to miss them. So we're upstairs. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so the artist is Connie Bart-Hamill. She's a local artist, works in mixed media, wood carving, pyrography, which is wood burning. And the show is called Wood, Heaven and Nature Sing. So kind of a pun, Wood, Heaven and Nature Sing 2, sorry. And so Connie has brought in so many different inspirations into this work. As you can see right now, nature has been a big part of her exploration with this exhibition. So we have all kinds of animals and thinking about our connection to nature, inspired by the Prayer of Our Earth by Pope Francis. And it also ties into all kind of spiritual themes, exploring Connie's Greek Orthodox culture and faith. And so you can see all kinds of icons that she's done with wood carvings, but you can even try and find a portrait of St. Nicholas just in time for Christmas.
How perfect is that? And really connecting people to their faith during this time of year. That isn't always the case for the gallery.
Correct, yeah. We work with artists of all spiritual practices, all cultural backgrounds, and so this is the first time in a long time we've had an exhibition that focuses specifically on spiritual themes, timed perfectly for Advent. So come on out before December 20th and enjoy that kind of contemplative spiritual approach.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned different cultures, Japan being one of those cultures. That is downstairs through paper. Very intricate pieces. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so that one is by Gensa Boy, who's an artist from Japan, was visiting, and it's called Present from God. So again, that one explicitly focuses on scenes from the Bible through the Old and the New Testament. And yeah, Japanese paper cutting, kiri-e, is a very detailed, beautifully decorative art form that I didn't know anything about until I got to meet Gen, and we're so thrilled he was working with the gallery.
Thank you so much. And to look at our website for more details for when you can look at it for yourself. Good morning.
Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop. It is cold. Sometimes your mouth just doesn't quite work.
I mean, it doesn't work for me on the best of days. So if you throw in some very cold temperatures, it's not great. Okay, it's currently minus 22 degrees. Speaking of not great, that wind chill making it feel more like minus 32. That sun is shining brightly. The skies are crystal clear and blue, very prominent on days this cold. Winds are to the northwest. Pressure is rising. Humidity sits at 82%. So the good news, sunshine, lots of it on the way to Manitoba today and all throughout the province. The bad news, as you can guess, very cold temperatures are unfolding. The north has it the roughest, if you will. Temperatures in the northeast, although the mercury might read in the low minus 20s. It's feeling upwards of minus 40 with that wind chill. A little bit milder to the northwest, but still very cold to the point that you could get frostbite if you spend too much time out there with exposed skin. For us here in southern Manitoba, wind chill values as seen is more like minus 30. We're getting up to a high of minus 16 in Winnipeg. Minus 7 is what's typical. Sun will shine throughout the day and clouds roll in overnight as temperatures dip down to minus 19. A nice warm high tomorrow, that's relative, of minus 9 for Winnipeg, but with it a slight chance of some light snow. We're going to take a break, but stay with us. So much more Your Morning Winnipeg still to come.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Here at Your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decked the halls for the holidays. All those holiday decorations could help you win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and have the chance to show off your holiday house live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures. Good luck. The holidays are here, and if you're looking to celebrate with live music, Winnipeg Cree and Métis musician Don Amaro is bringing back his Amaro Little Christmas. Joining us now is singer Don Amaro. Good morning, Don.
Hey, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. You've been doing this for 14 years now.
It's been, yeah.
It's really cool. Explain the beginnings of this whole show for you.
Well, the first year, I would say it started off with a Christmas miracle because it was the year my son was born. He just turned 14 yesterday. So I can always mark this show based on his birth because the first one we did was the year he was born, and it was not a great birth. Like, there was a lot of problems and for my wife and for him.
Okay.
And so I still did the show. It was 2 weeks after he was born, and my family said, go do it. We blessed you to do it. But my wife couldn't come because she was still in the hospital.
Right.
And so for 2 weeks, it was a long haul for her. But midway through the show, they showed up, her in a wheelchair and my baby boy. And it was like a Christmas. I was crying, the crowd was crying.
Oh my goodness.
So that's where it started. And so now here we are 14 years later. And
so
it's
it's bittersweet for you. It's really sweet because your son is 14 now.
Totally,
and this is the 14th year you're putting this on. And now you're doing more than just the one show. And tell us a little bit about what your plan was this year.
Yeah, so we toured it pre-pandemic days, and for the last 5 or 6 years we've done it just in Winnipeg, and now we've brought it back now to bring it out to the prairies. So we did Brandon, Pinawa, we got Winnipeg coming up this weekend, Winkler next weekend, and hopefully next year the goal is to kind of do a big western swing with the tours. So yeah, well, fingers crossed that'll all come together.
And you're doing a special show as well for kids.
So on December 8th we are partnering with the North End Christmas. So at North End Christmas on Instagram, you can find out where the thing's going to be. But anybody who wants to support these kids, they can drop off a toy at any Birchwood Auto location in Winnipeg, and it's a big way to make sure that every kid gets a good gift this Christmas.
What song are you going to sing for us?
So this is called "Don't Let Christmas Pass Me By," and I wrote this not long after my dad passed. So it's been almost 10 years now. So
okay, Don Amaro, take it away.
Gathered round the tree, Dad's dressed in red. He wasn't fooling me, that fake beard he had. I knew he wasn't Santa, but he sure could play the part. Well, he'd make us take our time, each gift we had, one by one, would drive me mad. As I look back now, those memories are gold. I wanna go back to those days, stop time, replay just one more night. Won't let Christmas pass me by. Well, many years have passed, we still gather round, and he's still Santa with a real beard, grandchildren on his knees. He still can play the part. But these kids can be crazy, they always want to play. I swear he don't mind, he's in his favorite place. If home is where the heart is, his family is home. I wanna go back to those days, stop time, replay just one more night. Won't let Christmas pass me by. Oh, the call came in the spring, said he was gone. My heart sank, put a brave face on. I knew this day was coming, but nothing could prepare. Last Christmas was the last one with my father there. I wanna go back to those days, stop time, replay just one more night. Oh, just one more day. Can't go back to those days. Can't stop, replay. Oh, take the time. Don't let Christmas pass you by.
Stunning outside. Not as stunning as that music, though. Wow, what a voice. Minus 22 degrees, so those temperatures leave a bit to be desired, but that sunshine, crystal clear and lovely. Winds out of the northwest. The barometric pressure is rising. Humidity sits at 82%. Yeah, temperatures will be much cooler than what's typical for this time of year, to the tune of minus 16 degrees. Minus 7 is more what's typical. We'll be dealing with those fierce wind chills this morning. It's felt more like minus 30. Those will ease into the afternoon as we enjoy that sunshine, but they're back overnight. Temperatures dip down to minus 19. Again, it'll feel closer to minus 30 as winds ramp up out of the northwest. We're also seeing a low pressure system track in from the west that's likely to bring some flurry activity overnight to the southwest, and for us into tomorrow, light snow expected off and on with a high of minus 8, about 2 to 4 centimeters worth expected. We're taking a break. More Your Morning Winnipeg still to come.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
We leave you this morning with more sounds of the season from Don Amaro. See you tomorrow.